Hi there, name's Nico, and today we'll be going over patch notes 1.1. This is the patch where the battle pass will be introduced, as well as season 1.0 will start, because as of right now it's preseason, so we have a lot of balance changes to go over. We have the pass to go over, and I believe there's also a new character, so let's take a look. Year Pass Vacants. It's vacation season on Lumia Island, and the first Year Pass is now available. Year Pass is available at 15,550 MP with a launch discount of 1,190 MP for 2 weeks. Year Plus, which adds 24 levels, is 3,990 MP, sold for 2 weeks at 3,190 MP. After purchasing the ER Pass, you can upgrade the ER Plus by paying the difference. You can earn ER points by playing games and completing missions to level up your ER Pass, as well as purchasing ER points. Seasonal leveling will unlock a variety of rewards, including up to 1,400 MP, 5 skins, 2 emotes, and 100 vacant tokens to celebrate the official launch. So, if you buy the pass, you can actually get more pass or more MP than it costs if you buy it in the first 2 weeks. You'll actually get like 210 more, or 210 additional MP. So that's actually quite nice. Unfortunately, I mean, if you buy it a little bit later, it is you get a little bit less, but you still get the majority of your cost back, but you also get 5 skins, which is, I mean, it's worth it if you like the skins, obviously. So you can earn free rewards without purchasing an ER Pass. However, if you purchase the ER Pass, you can earn additional rewards. I believe only 1 skin's free without like buying the pass, and I think 4 of them aren't. I think that's how they did it. ER Pass missions are divided into 8 weeks. Okay, that's new, by the way. Previous seasons, it was always you had to buy pass to get any of the skins. But I think this time they did the My Skins free. I believe that's what they said, if I remember correctly. ER Pass missions are divided into 8 weeks of missions, with each week's missions opening every Wednesday at 2:59 a.m. UTC or 10:59 p.m. EST. Yeah, I did my math right there. You'll get 5 missions each week without an ER Pass, and you'll get 5 additional by purchasing the ER Pass. And additional missions will be given to you retroactively when you purchase the ER Pass later. Play and collect the ER rewards. So here are the 5 vacant skins. We have Private Summer Haze, the Epic, Tropical Runaway My Rare, Pool Boy Luke Rare, Eternal Vow Dina Rare, Magic Spell Kiara Rare. So here's the Haze skin, which I'm sure everyone's excited for. The My skin, Luke skin, Dina skin, and Kiara skin. So here we have season 1 ranked matches will begin. Ranked points will be soft reset based off the last MMR of the preseason. Ranked match through pre-made teams are restricted for mithril tier and higher. Wait, what does this mean? Ranked matches through pre-made teams are restricted for, oh, okay, it feels like it's just weird. Basically, if you're mithril, that's what they said earlier. If you're mithril or higher, you cannot play in a pre-made team. You have to queue up solo, which is, I understand why. It just seems, it's like mixed. Like if you want to do like tournaments, like actually do like competitive stuff, like you have to practice with your team in like pre-made lobbies, and it's a bit hard, I guess, to do for that, but I guess that's what they've decided to do to add balance. Entry cost and kill points will be adjusted, increased by 2 points per division, so 250 RP from diamond tier, increased by 3 points per division. I guess the entry costs. Sure, your kill points are adjusted based off your rank, eliminations. So this is all very ranked, so it's like iron, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, mithril, titan, and immortal are just kind of like top 500, top 200, or whatever. So now they've done it to like 8, so and they've lowered it to here. Okay, so they've done from 10 to 4 to 8 to 4, and downs are going from 5 to 2 to 4 to 2. Okay, so you just get less points if you're in iron or bronze than you used to. I guess that's what they decided was better. Sure. I guess it's hard. Makes it not as easy to climb out of iron and bronze. That's pretty much what they've done. You'll be rewarded for your rank in the final season of early access. Here's like all the stuff they have. Achieving gold tier in a single mode gives you a cadet Jackie. Oh wait, they're giving cadet Jackie away again? Or is this for... No, this is for the... I'm like, these are the rewards from this season, so I'm like confused. You'll be rewarded for your rank in the final season of early access. Okay, so yeah, here's gold. Here's the platinum. And you get an exclusive banner or whatever early end. And then these are the ranked borders and icons you get. Very cool. Daniel, demo emotes will be available for purchase. System, so crafting guide and VPAD improvements. So they made the first round of improvements to the highly requested crafting guide. Clicking on the target item will show you the materials you need. Left click on material to see where you can find it. Right click on a material to call it in a remote drone right away. Please, I've wanted this for a very long time. I'm glad that left clicking on it will show you where it is. It's good. Good change. Click on the target item to replace it with the one in the recommended pieces of equipment. Okay, from the VPAD. Isn't this what it already happens? And like if you click it here, or does it mean when you click it up, like from up here? If so, I guess it's fine. From the VPAD shortcut, you can call all materials from remote drones, whether you have them or not. You'll be able to properly select the telephone characters in your shortcut. Yeah, that's good. So like, okay. Inventory UI size increase. Size of most of the used inventory and crafting UI will be larger. Okay, this is just nice to see. So it's not like as squished. We'll be increasing the size of the equipment UI, but this will be done a bit further. Oh, a bit further. The rework will about. Okay, that's a little unfortunate. Random matchmaking voice chat. In-game voice chat is now also available for random matchmaking. They have to do this because if they disable remakes for Mithril Plus, then how are you going to communicate with your team, right? So they're doing this. I don't know how people are gonna play in NA. It's gonna be very different. Camera view, zoom, level changes. By zooming in with the mouse, you can select the camera perspective used before the official launch. Zooming in once will give you the camera perspective before official launch, and zooming in twice will give you the current close-up camera. If we get a lot of feedback after the patch that you still want to play with the current one, we'll add 2 options to choose from. Okay, I guess we'll have to see how that looks in game. Save plan, search improvements, search by save plan. Oh, search by save plan ID is now the default setting. Okay, yes, on stream someone asked me about how to find a plan with the save plan ID, and I normally don't input, or like I rarely input other plans because I make my own routes most of the time, so I don't really need to add others' ID. And I found out it was very difficult to do, so I'm glad this is being changed. This also solves the cache problem of not being able to search past save plans when more are being added. Okay, Preparation time increase. We've received a lot of feedback saying that players are running out of time during the match preparation phase, so the timer in character section has been increased by 10 seconds, and this background music has been rearranged. Okay, the match whatever. Sure, that's fine. Sometimes I found it was too long, sometimes I found it too short, so I guess it's fine. Normal match MMR rules adjustment. Measures will be taken to improve the matchmaking quality for normal matches in the long term. We've adjusted the normal match MMR to be closer to 0 so that scores do not gradually increase as the number of games increase. I think that's good because just because you played more games doesn't necessarily mean you're actually getting better at the game. Correlation doesn't mean like causation, I guess, there, so. And for selecting the winning streak and losing streak more strongly, the skills are measured more accurately when the number of games increases. Yeah. Temporary safe zone location. The area were subdivided, or as areas were subdivided, the last temporary safe zone were sometimes too close to each other. Changes by relocating the temporary safe zones in 9 things. So they've changed gas stations and /alley. So there's a zone. Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm thinking down here and up here for the 2 zones. These are very far away. Like you're not gonna get there unless you cut red. Yeah, this is gas stations, these 2. This is alleys. So yeah, I'm pretty far away. As long as there's no bear here, because it's not bad, but you can probably just kill a bear. Dock, warehouse, so this is docks, change. Yeah, they're like pretty much opposite end. This is warehouse, well, it's like bordering uptown and down here. But yeah, it's not easy to get up to there because of the, like this wall right here. Stream slash fire station. So stream is, okay, this is by temple and hospital. This is all the way by avenue. This is again quite far. And fire station, this is by alley school. And this is by police station and pond. Yeah, so they've definitely spread these out quite far. Ponds is now, again, just opposite ends. Uptown is where the bears spawn, to by forest here, and cemetery by where Wiccaline spawns. Yeah, they're like, they've made them really far apart. Jeez. Unclaimed skin vouchers added to forging. Increases the efficiency of disassembly and adds exchange goods. They can be purchased with the Bacon's tokens obtained from disassembly. We're increasing the amount of Bacon's tokens received when disassembling items by 50%. Bacon's tokens will be sent out retroactively to those who have used disassembly before. I mean, I have, so. We're adding 2 new types of unclaimed skin vouchers to exchange. Unclaimed skin vouchers can be redeemed for 210 Bacon's tokens, and you will guarantee one of the skins from the list. List of unclaimed skin vouchers is subject to change. Okay, sure. Wild animals, wolf herd, spawning time 10 seconds after day 2 is now at the start of day 2, and bear herds is the start of night 2 instead of 10 seconds after. I don't know why they had 10 seconds after in the first place, but okay, good. Vampiric bloodline adaptability per level is going from 1 to 0.5, so yeah, they're making it not as strong. And same with healing factor, which actually makes sense. Tactical skills, cooldown. Blink is actually getting its cooldown increase. I mean, it makes sense. It's very strong. Electric blink, this one is just minor. I like using level 1 to like loot faster, so they're probably just doing it to nerf that. And Totem's getting it. I mean, that also makes sense. I wanted to do a tier list about tactical skills, but again, I'm just kind of busy, only really doing one video a week, which technically you're gonna get 2 today because there's patch notes, and I'll do the one that I was normally gonna post today because this won't take me that long, surely. Force field is lasting a little bit longer at level 2 to make it actually worth it to upgrade to level 3. You should have upgraded to level 3 anyway because it was quite strong. Oh, and yeah, so they're nerfing it here. Okay, well, they're buffing the base values, but they're nerfing the max level of it, okay? Because like used to have like 1000 HP shield, or your 1500, so now they've increased the max movement speed increase from 1000 to 1500, so you're probably only gonna get it again level 3. This is fine, but I feel like if you're running Force Road, you're gonna make sure you get level 3 anyway. False Hope, all damage gain per skill level. It's going from 8 to 16% to... Oh, they're actually making a difference between per level. Hey, was it not different per level before? Was it just flat? Okay, well, they buffed it for level 3 and they nerfed it level 1. But again, most people, I feel like, always level up to level 2. Like, I rarely see people only keep it at level 1. And the range version is getting actually a tad bit stronger than it was before. That's interesting. Healing Wind... by the way, the only person I've ever seen False Hope on is Adela, and she's melees, according to the game, so... a melee, quote-unquote, but yeah. So, I don't know who uses the range. Recovery of this is going down per level 1 again. Most people are going to upgrade it. The defense is being nerfed on it. I mean, this kind of makes sense. This is basically like almost more than like a tank item slot of defense, but not like legendary level, like a epic level defense tank item. So nerfing down makes sense. Blasting bullet lasts longer. No one uses this one, so it makes sense. And the cooldown of this is going down again. No one uses this one, so it makes sense. Hammer skill is being buffed slightly. It's just interesting. Like Sua, from my understanding, Sua's actually going hammer now, or not hammer, bat now. It actually makes a lot more sense for her combo now that she doesn't have as much CC in her kit. Not that she doesn't have like a little amount of CC. But Dual Sword Rampage, this is gonna be changed because of Kathy, because Kathy's are quite strong right now, and she's a Dual Sword Rampage at the moment, so they're nerfing the scaling upscaling from 6 to 8% to 5 to 7, so it's only 1% difference, but again, it's mainly because of Kathy. They're nerfing the second cast by 10% amp at all levels, so the new whip skill slow is going up. I definitely felt whip skill was lackluster, like the new whip skill, so this makes complete sense to me, and the cooldown's going a lot down. Yeah, like it was way too, I think it just like sucked so bad. Maybe this will make it suck less. And now for the characters, Nadine, I made a community post about like my tier list first thoughts, and I definitely put Nadine on like the lower end, and they're actually buffing Nadine, which makes sense. She's not actually that strong. Originally, I was worried about how she would be farming, but then when I played her, I was like, actually, no, she's not that good. But Bo Nadine has been struggling farming animals who are making her Q use frequency higher by decreasing its cooldown, also buffing her ult to increase her power. This will just, it's mainly for bow medium, but I mean, this is also for crossbow. Nikki will gain more range, and a guard reverse will be available more often. I've heard some people say like Nikki was not strong. I thought she was like mid-tier, not like the best, but not like the worst. But she's getting a little bit of buff to how much rage she gets, from 30 up to 60. So this is like, you're pretty much almost get max rage. If not, you will get max rage. It seems like with 60 plus 4% amp. Again, if you have 400 or higher, you will just get it. 400. No, that's, yeah. If you're at 400, well, 400 is 10% would be 40, so you should get it guaranteed, right? Based off this change, this rage game. Anyway, guard reverse cooldown is going slightly down again. Just pretty much said. I think it's a fine change. I think he was like average, and she used to be a lot better in squads, but because of like all the CC, but they've removed a lot of CC, so it makes sense to kind of buff her slightly. Debbie and Marlene are overly powerful, so we're lowering their powers a bit. Both dance skills will be nerfed, and her ult's delay will be slightly increased how players react to the animation. Adjustments to their most used augment and vampiric bloodline should also affect them. For some reason I didn't realize they're using vampiric, but honestly it makes a lot of sense. I didn't, again, I'm not, Debbie and Marlene does not really interest me in the play, but I did do like a first impressions video on them, and originally I felt like they were like okay, like mid, but the more people started playing her, definitely became a lot more on the stronger end. I'm really hoping they nerf Smolder. We'll get down to that a little bit later. We're almost like halfway through the patch anyways, but you can see that all they changed was the target's max HP going from 10 to 14 to 8 to 10, and that's a big nerf. This is WW, which this one is not the one that is really that damaging. The worst one is definitely Marlene W. I mean, both of them needed to be nerfed because W is just too strong, at least compared to Q. So I thought either just nerfing W, then they'll buff Q if it's too like low, because I didn't feel like Q did that much, but maybe I'm underestimating how much Q damage did. Maybe it's just W is way overpowered, which seems to be the case. For Marlene's W, it's going from 10 to 90 to 15 to 75. Generally, from what I least recommended for W Marlene, you'd max W like second as your main skill. You do like passive E, W, Q. But I know some people would do like W, passive E, Q, or maybe they don't even want to do the passive playstyle of her. But definitely W is like the strongest damaging spell, so this being nerfed makes sense, because this is not just per one hit, it's per like, this is multiplicative, so she's literally like 15 times like 7 or times 8 damage, so it's a lot more noticeable than just 15. And the damage upon target hit is going from 30% to 25%, and the cooldown's increasing by 2 seconds, which makes sense. But if you're building CDR, it won't be as noticeable. The pre-delay is going by 0.05 seconds, so whoop-de-doo. Okay, so this is like nothing really. If this went to like 1 second, then it'd be a lot more noticeable for sure, but only by additional 0.05 seconds, I think it's not going to mean anything. Tia's on the weaker end in my opinion, just how she plays, so they are buffing her. Makes sense. Getting 0.4% more skilling per mastery level, and her brushstroke by yellow slow is going up by 10%, and slowed when blue central parts hit is going up by 25%. Tia's definitely on the weaker end, so again, makes sense. Lennox is actually quite strong because she's the only character with the old whip skill, which makes her like quite good, and just as like a tank as well, it like makes her good. Yeah, durability damage. So what they're gonna do, nerf her HP per level and slightly nerf her recoil based off her own max HP, because again, she's a tank, so she wants to stack HP, and so they're making it so that her Q doesn't do as much damage and make her more of the tank role, which is completely fair. Leon, a character I put in S tier. They're nerfing Leon's capability to keep his whole team engaged in a fight with his shields and lowering the frequency with which he can use his E skill. So his defense going from 45 to 41. That's actually a quite significant drop, because I believe this is close to what Rosie's defense level is, which, yeah. So self shield is going from 50 to 190 to 40 to 180, and the skill is going from 40% to 25%. Wow, that's actually quite a huge hit there. But he's only losing 10 base, but the amp change is actually going to be quite significant. With the ally shield change, what's going different is it's going from 20 to 120 to 100, or 20 to 100. So late game, or technically not late game, like max level, it's 20 less base, which you level this first if you're playing Leon. Generally, at least if you're playing support Leon, which most people are, this is going to be noticeable, and the amp's the exact same. So yeah, you're going to notice that, because that's also going to nerf the healing factor's effectiveness as well. Duck dive is going from 11 to 9 seconds to 13 to 11. This doesn't really matter, because I mean, you could use it twice in a fight if you built CDR, but really you just need that one engage. So I guess it nerfs it. Makes it, if you're a bad Leon, it punishes you a lot more than if you're a good Leon. Because if you are a good Leon and you land your E on the first hit, then who cares what the CD is? Because if you get duck dive on the one person you're trying to target, they should be dead. Like, that's it. Luke I felt was actually not that good at all. I put him into like C, so I've seen some people say he's even like D tier. But yeah, he's gonna get his evolutions faster, which when I played Luke a couple times, I did feel like it took me a long time to actually get my evolutions up. And the change to Elbow Grease W should help him do more damage and stay in fights longer. So his neat and tidy stacks requirements going from 15 to 75 to 10 to 50. This is actually quite noticeable, or will be quite noticeable, so I'm glad they've done that. And they're also increasing the stack gain, so this will pretty much mean he'll probably get it by like day 2 max stacks. Versus or involved requirements stacks for a 50. So I'm trying to think. So I'm assuming you, instead of, I'll just like level it, yeah. So if, and stacks, yeah. So at 50 it'd be max stacked or whatever. Anyways, this is just better overall. It'll be faster for you to get your max stacks. Probably about day 2, maybe night 2 if you're a bit slow. Elbow Grease W, the damage is going from 40 to 160 to 50, so you get 10 base more, and your AP is actually ratio is going up at 25%. That's quite significant. HP recovery loss per enemy hit when involved is going up by 5%. When I was playing Luke, I generally leveled this one first, just because the you need HP recovery. Like, if you're going in on a team, you're probably going to get nuked, so you need as much healing as you can get. Extra basic attack damage duration is going from 5 seconds to 6.5, so yeah, you last a bit longer, but the cooldown is going up 2 seconds because of this change. So it's basically like you only have it down for 1.5 seconds versus now, which I'm assuming that the cooldown, trying to think, I think the cooldown ticks as you use it, right? Or it doesn't really matter for that because you're only gonna really use it once, maybe twice per fight. Generally, like only once. Okay, Lead Island. Lead Island has really good base stats, so they are gonna nerf it. Makes complete sense to me. Drink Up's early game will be weaker, but more useful later on. I played a bunch of Dylan the other day, and I felt that definitely late game was like really strong for her. I thought her like early to mid game was like okay, maybe slightly above average. Her ultimate minimum damage is being toned up a bit to match her maximum damage, while her maximum damage is going to be reduced. Okay, so her base HP is going from 950 to 890. That's actually quite significant nerf. And her HP is going from 103 scaling, which is way too much, to 97. That's going to be just more in line to how the characters currently are, like most melee characters are. Basic attack and per glove mastery is going from 2.6 to 2.3, and nunchuck's going from 3 to 2.2. The reason why they're nerfing nunchuck more is because everyone's playing nunchuck right now. No one's playing glove, so they're trying to make them more in line, I guess. So that's why nunchuck got hit harder. Skill damage reduction is actually going up to 70% at max level. Oh my goodness. People are complaining about it being at 60, and now they level it up to 70. Oh my gosh. Anyways, people level up the skill like it's like between first, second. They generally do right now like 3 points E, then like put an extra point W, then go like EW, EW, WW. Just Dylan does like weird skill leveling compared to like all the other casts. Most of the other casts is like, oh, I just want to max one skill first, but have 1 point each, and then if I need my passive, then I'll do that first. Otherwise, I'll just put it in like Q as an example. Dylan, you like mix and match pretty much. But yeah, her R mid damage is going from 40 to 80 to 150 to 150, plus increasing the attack power by 20%, and the maximum damage is went from 100, 200 down or changed to 75 to 225. Plus 25 or 75% plus 50. Like, I didn't think they needed the buff Dylan's late game. I felt like it was actually perfectly fine as is, but because of these nerfs up here, maybe the buffs were needed to kind of compensate. I don't know. I would have probably wanted to test just nerfing these first, and then if this was too badly, then give the compensation buffs. Maybe just leveling the min damage was fine, but I don't think the max damage needed to be buffed up at all. I think it was completely fine. Martina, the bug affecting Martina's combos has been addressed. We're also increasing her ult's power. Yes, her ultimate felt like so bad. As someone who like mained Martina last season, at least for like the first half until I cried inside, or probably died inside, and I died a lot in game too. Yeah, it's the ult damage now compared to how it was before was night and day. Very surprised. It surprised me a lot. Fast forward Q and pause. W's marks will not be correctly consumed when heading at the same time. Oh, was this like the bug that was causing it? Yeah. Okay, so understandable. So they're changing her broadcast end damage from 60 to 180 plus 60% attack power to 80 to 240 plus 70% attack power. This will definitely be more noticeable, and end center damage going from 100 to 300 plus 100% AP, going to 150 to 400 plus 110% AP. So if you don't know, Martina has like attack speed to attack power conversion, and you can generally get to 330 AP if you get your two main transitions, camera and beautiful garments, which aren't that hard to get. It's one tree, one meteorite. Like, they're really cheap items. No one really wants a meteorite. And beautiful garments, I definitely would prioritize over Canon camera if you are assuming you are already on VICG. Okay, that's my assumption. But currently, you don't generally make two cameras. So they don't have the slots for it yet. So you'd have to craft it on your own time and remember how to make it. But yeah, this will. So if you increase your damage by like 100 base, plus you get 10% more. So 400 plus like, we'll say it's 330, so another 33 damage. So yeah, it's mainly the base damage that's making it a lot better than the the attack power scaling. But yeah, it definitely will be a lot more noticeable. I'll give her a try and see if she's that much better, but maybe it's just I'm used to playing her the old way, and people are saying the new way to play her is like an ADC and then like a spellcaster. We'll see, we'll see. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of her being a spellcaster, which is what I liked about her before. Mine will deal more damage and last longer in battles, however, making her equipment less powerful. Makes sense. The reason why you'd really want mine in your team is because of the equipment. I definitely felt like she did no damage. I'm surprised they're buffing her defense capabilities. I didn't feel like I died really quickly most of the time. I felt like I just didn't do damage, which was fine because I was like, I'm playing the tank. Like, I'm not supposed to be here to do damage. But they're buffing her max HP by 50. Like, I guess it's like the base one. And her passive, what is it? Haute Contour or Haute Contour. There's no like accent on the E, so I'm saying it's like Haute Contour. The defense per extra basic attack damage. Defense, okay, I don't think this is very probably. I think this is like the bonus damage you do based off of your defense is going from 15 to 25 to 20 to 30, so 5% more. I guess it's whatever. Drape per Q. This is your like main spell that you use for damage. The damage is going from, let's see what they're increasing. They're increasing you're doing, instead of plus 5% of self max HP, it's now 6%. Since you're getting a little bit buff here, and this is also being buffed a bit, you also do a tiny bit more damage. Center and outer damage will no longer be different. Oh, okay, so this is just the same no matter where you hit it. That's interesting. Okay, I guess this is better for mine players who aren't as experienced on mine, or if it's better for like newer players. Marcus, my opinion, Marcus was not that great, so hopefully they are buffing him here. We're addressing the issue that caused Marcus to not be able to sustain during combat. We're also giving him some help through increased damage and improved utility. So his Q, which is his main spell, is going from 5 to 45 to 10 to 50, and he also does plus 10% of damage based off his extra, I guess, base HP. Recovery skill damage going from 100% to 75%. HP recovery, though, will now be based off skill damage. Well, I don't know what it was based off before. They're saying there was like an issue. Was it based off of? Oh, was Q considered like a spell? So then it wasn't actually healing it. Okay, I see. And so they're nerfing this because they're fixing this bug that related to him. Okay, sure. His Q and knockback distance will go from 2.5 to 3 meters, and knockback speed on hit will go increased by 20%. That's a new effect. Okay, sure. I don't think this will impact them too much. Like, I know you get 3 of these and you use this spell very often in fights. Maybe this bug will actually change him, make him a lot better, but he does currently feel like he's not able to sustain, exactly what they said. So Vanya's power to stay in combat will be increased. Yeah, I thought she was like average. The sleep ability is like quite good on her, but I thought like she can die quite quickly. But shield's going from 20 to 70 to 30 to 100 plus 5% more skill amp, and max shield's going from 60 to 210 to 60 to 240. Skill amp again increased by 15%. Those were passive. I don't know if you level up passive or not, like, or when you do it on Vanya. I'm assuming you do it near the beginning, but again, I could be wrong. Barbara. This is the character I've been kind of maining this preseason, and I can tell you she's very, very good. So her damage being nerfed is not surprising here. We'll just read what they say. Her Sentry Gun is overly powerful in durability and damage. Sentry Gun damage will be moved to the bonus free electron laser when cast, which should have more counterplay with the adjusted Sentry Gun durability. We're also toning down Magic Stick, which is Rara's main transition. She doesn't really need Magic Stick, to be honest. Like, you could, like, I was using Ghost Hand for most of the game. KR likes Magic Stick. It's an easier transition to get, don't get me wrong. But if you are on Ghost Hand, it's completely fine too. It just means that it's a little bit harder. It makes it, it's not as strong like earlier by nerfing Magic Stick. That's all. The sentry gun, the attack power is going from level times 5% of scaling up to level times 3%. This will definitely make it AP going from like, okay, the max amount of skill up I've ever gotten on Barbara is 830, which if you didn't know, basically this conversion gave it like a 1-to-1, so basically made the turret have 830 AP, which is kind of insane. So this is probably going to drop it down to like 600 AP. Yeah, because you're having so much skill amp before is just kind of insane. Yeah, it'd be like 40. Yeah. It's probably like 600 down AP, which is still a lot, but remember it's AP, so it gets reduced by defense, so it's more like half of what. It's like a third, or generally it was like a quarter of the damage, like 33%, so it's only gonna do like 200 damage per auto instead of like 300 damage, which that's only late game. Again, it'll do a lot less earlier on. The defense was also made this quite tanky. This generally had like this added up to like 300 defense or so. So now this is gonna go down probably to like 225, 235, somewhere around there. So a lot easier to kill the sentry gun as well. These are like the two things that make Barbara quite strong, like the turret. I mean, her Q is also quite strong, but instead they're buffing the Q. Oh, if you do WQ, they're increasing the damage from loss from here to this. So most Barbara players, what you do is you place your turret down, then you place W and you align your turret and like the player together that you're trying to target. So then you get the W damage on the player as well as the turret's W bonus damage on it. So they're actually buffing this damage slightly, but the damage lost from this is actually going to be way much more impactful than the damage gained from this. Magnetic Cyclone, max shield is 50% of Barbara's max HP is at 40%. I think this is like a non-thing. Even after these changes, I'm going to still say Barbara's probably S tier. I don't think that's going to really change much about Barbara. Bernice, we're giving him more power on his critical strikes. Right now, Bernice sucks, in my opinion. He's probably the worst ADC in the game at this time, so buffing him makes complete sense. His min damage for extra bullet on critical hits is going from 55 to 60%, and max damage for extra bullets on critical hits is going from 60 to 72, the 66 to 78. Will this put him more in line with other ADCs? I mean, yes, obviously it's a buff, but is he actually going to be good because of it? I don't know. I think Rio and William are completely fine as or Heart. I mean, Heart's, I've been told that Heart's not really an ADC now. I mean, she seems like it, but she seems more like a support ADC than just like a pure ADC, if that's what you're looking for. But I think William and Rio are completely fine. Are gonna be better than what Bernice is. Bianca, I thought Bianca was like, originally I thought she kind of sucked, but then I've seen people doing, I guess, decently on her, so I've kind of said that she's mid. Like, I don't think she's overly the top powerful, but what they're just doing here is kind of making it more friendly to newer players on Bianca, or just in general makes it easier. Her survivability just increases because it doesn't cost as much HP to cast your spell. Like, a lot of times you just basically kill yourself because you're casting your spells over and over again and you're just draining your HP bar because you cost HP to cast spells instead of mana. And Omni Siphon is going up from 20 to 30 to 20 to 40, so this will make our late game a little bit better as well. I don't think the Omni matters too much. Like, I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess all you could say. Celine's definitely like a top tier right now, so they are gonna reduce the power of Magnetic Compulsion, which is her ultimate, but increase her weapon mastery to compensate. I don't know if she needs much of a compensation, but again, we'll see based off in game. What I was hearing is people were just spamming like one R bomb, so nerfing the damage per number of fused bombs won't matter too much. The scaling's the exact same. Well, the base value is the exact same. Scaling's going down by 8% skill amp, and she's getting 0.4 more percent skill amp as a result, which if you multiply this by 20, you're actually getting, well, let's see, 0.4 times 20 is 8%, so you're actually getting 8% more skill amp once you reach max level. So this is, I mean, it's about this, I guess, this impacts like all the other spells like your Q and W, so this is actually, I'd say, more of an overall buff, at least in the late game, compared to the nerf that this causes. So Selenium will still be top tier in my opinion. I don't think it really changes anything. Shukai will now with build Dracono stacks a little faster. Okay, I played Shukai a bunch of games, and I can tell you his stacks timing right now is you can pretty much get it by day 2. The reason why it's day 2 instead of night 1 is because it's so hard to level up your passive right now. Like, to get the level 9, you generally have to make it to day 2. I'm not seeing anyone make it to level 9, like, with a minute left in night 1 in this example. Like, before you could get that pretty reliably. Now they've changed how the mastery scaling works, so yeah, that's the main reason why that's actually slowing Shukai down. Not that it's hard to get stacks, it's just hard to get your passive leveled up. But once it's leveled up to 9, like, it's you should already have been at like 70 to 80 stacks anyway. I think this just makes it maybe easier for newer players, but once you know food recipes, I found that it was not hard to get 100 stacks at all. Shoichi was never meant to be like a squats character, so yeah, that's why he's not good in my opinion. He has no CC. He's supposed to really just nuke one character, and then he doesn't really have anything. So that's why they're giving him a little bit of a buff here. A 5% more skill amp scaling on his passive, which he procs it often. His E slow is going from 20 to 50% to 30 to 50. This is because I believe he levels this like last or close to last, so they're making it more useful. His ultimate area damage is going up. The base or the scaling is going up by 10%, and the damage from the dagger is going up by 5%. And these are minor buffs. I don't think this is going to really change them much. Korea likes Shoichi a lot more than North America does, so I haven't seen many Shoichis myself personally, but we'll find out more from Korea based off of if this change makes him like top tier or just like mid or below mid or low tier, like he currently is. Okay, Sua. Okay, I've heard mixed things about Sua. And Sua in previous seasons has always been like S tier because her kit has like everything. What does she have? She has healing. She has a shield. She has CC immune. She has huge mobility. She can use E or RE. It's just, or like ER, you know, insane. Mobility. She had the durability because of healing and shielding. She can give her teammates CC and immunity, and she had so much CC in her own kit that you can pretty much be CC chained and can't do anything about it. And she also has a blind for auto attackers so that they miss their attacks for like a second. So like she has everything. Like so what they're doing is but people are saying, oh, Sua's mid now. That's what people are saying, and I was like, I haven't really seen Sua to disprove this point, so I'm gonna say Sua is mid tier, even though I know previous seasons she was like S tier. But it looks like everyone has either been mistaken or maybe they just didn't see enough Sua. But she's being nerfed, which I'm glad. I mean, it makes sense. And they're nerfing Magic Stick, which again, that's because of Barbara, because of Sua, because of Della. They're all using Magic Stick. It's just way too good of a weapon for a meteorite weapon. So she's losing 40 base ace HP. Her passive damage is going up actually by 6%. The area damage is going up by 3%. Recovery based off damage is actually going up too. Oh, okay, that's what they said. They're moving from base stats to healing. Why? Please, okay. So this is more of like a rework than a nerf then, but okay, I guess ignore my rant before. I guess she is fine. Because they're making her recover on her skills more, I guess. As this rewards, or this, I mean, this change is a nerf if the other team is running healing reduction, which, in my opinion, if you're running, in my opinion, all teams need to be running healing reduction, at least on one character. Otherwise, I feel like you're kind of trolling. So, this is, nerf when she fights those teams, but technically it's a buff if she's not fighting teams with healing reduction, in my opinion. That's how I see this, really. Recovery is just going up by 10 base. For min recovery, max recovery is going up by 20 base, and getting 3% and 6% more scaling here. RQ, the damage here is actually going down, which is good. And RE, again, they need to just increase recovery. So basically, it's just, they're trying to make it that she's more of a drain tank, or like a That's the thing when people say, like, a drain tank. Like, she just is like a sustainer battle versus like a damage dealer or like a nuker. So I guess that's fine. It's just there, but then actually probably better because then there's actually ways to counter her, perhaps, or mayhaps anyway. We'll see how much healing reduction actually impacts her. Zisella. Okay, Zisella will now be able to participate in matches normally, and she'll be available in all modes. Sorry for the inconvenience. So yeah, we haven't seen Zisella at all. We literally have no idea how strong she is. So Zisella's play with us and go get him muscle will no longer allow entrance to areas where you can't move. Okay, that was like really a bug because I knew that if you tried to escape, you could get yourself stuck in places by pulling yourself. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They like fix that issue. We don't know how strong Zisella is because we haven't seen her. So I'll do some testing for Zisella to see how good and bad she is. Adriana, I think she's like above average. I think she was top tier originally, but they nerfed her, then they've reworked her. But they're gonna nerf her once again, which I think is completely fine. It's only a slight nerf anyway. They're just making her CC not as strong. So her passive slow is going from 40 to 35%, and her oil slick slow is going from 30 to 40% to 31 to 35%. You level up oil slick, at least from what I have been doing, like in the middle of the game, so it's technically a buff at the beginning of the game, and it's a nerf mid to late game. Okay, Adina. My opinion, Adina is actually the best character in the game right now, so they are nerfing her, thank goodness. Passive stargazing movement speed increases going from 4 to 14% to 3 to 9%, and 1% less scaling on the movement speed, so it's actually a lot easier to get on top of her, which I think is a good thing because currently it feels like you can never get to her. The conjugate damage is going down by 5% scaling up. I think it's like nothing. Astral time, or W, which is like the triangle she puts on the ground. The damage is going down by from 70 to 160 to 60 to 160, so it's nerfed or like at level 1, but it's exact same at max level. And the shield she gets is going from 70 to 190 to 60 to 180, and the scaling is also going down by 20%. So they're basically trying to make it easier for people to kill her, because right now it's hard to catch up to her, and she just has like this big shield, which is not going to be as big after the patch. I think she's still going to be really strong. It just needs that you have to space better or have someone peel for her. Compared to before when you could just like have her on your team, literally just plop her in a team right now and she will just work wonders. Maybe this time it's like, okay, you actually have to worry about where your Athena is. Before you didn't care where she was because she could get it out of herself. We'll see though, maybe I'm getting wrong. I just think that's what I think currently though. Aya, we're giving Sniper Aya some help as she's not been performing well. We're lowering Pistol Aya's skill lamp scaling while lowering cooldown and double shot. Yes, so I feel like currently Pistol Aya just nukes your health bar with 1 W. It's very nice, as in it's not very nice. The scale for Pistol Master is going down by 0.1%. It's like never. Sniper is going up by 0.3%. Okay, I mean it's better than I guess a 0.1%. Double shot Q. SP cost going from 80 to 50, and they're making the cooldown for going from 10 to 8 to 10 to 6. Q, max Q is generally better on Sniper Aya, so they're just trying to buff Sniper Aya, even though like they aren't really doing anything to Pistol Aya, which I think is incredibly strong. Like, why didn't they nerf Aya W? I feel like I'm dying very quickly because they've increased how fast the shots come out, so it's not like I can dodge for Q like I used to be able to. Isaac, oh yeah, Isaac sucks. He's probably like the worst bruiser in the game right now, or like yeah, fighter, bruiser, whatever you want to call him. So they're gonna buff his passive damage by 5 base plus 5% AP. I don't think it's gonna really matter that much, to be honest. Alex increased Alex's damage a bit. I thought he was like mid. Like I didn't. Oh, you could buff him. He's just like, he's okay. Okay, attack power increase when hitting an enemy with melee Qs going from 4 to 6%. and his ultimate EMP barrage is going from 70 to 220 to 80 to 220, so it makes him slightly stronger in the early game. I think this is like really a non, really much, or pretty much a nothing change. I think they're rewarding people who actually like switch weapon forms instead of just staying on range like what I've been doing. I just like playing just like Pistol Ice or Pistol Alex, excuse me, I said Isol. And I would never switch to melee, so they're trying to be like, hey, look, you'll get more AP if you switch to melee, which, I mean, good Alex is actually switch. I'm not a good Alex, so, yeah. Yon, I think Yon was, like, not that good, so they're increasing his main skill damage, lowering his ultimate. So he's going from 60 to 140 to 60 to 180, and the scaling is the exact same. Enhanced duration lasts a bit longer, which I think is good, so you can have more time to set up. And his ultimate cooldowns going from 80 to 60 to 60 to 40. I think these are completely fine changes. Yeah, the style, I think, again, another top tier character here. We're turning down her damage through skills and her main transition weapon, as well as defensive shield provided by her ultimate. So yeah, this is the main problem with her. Her EW damage is way too high. So what they're doing is they're nerfing the scaling up by 5%, and her max HP is like cut in half. So this should do way less damage than it currently is. Because right now it's still supposed to be like a frontliner, but instead of like normal frontliners who build tankier items like Mai, who builds like Sax defense, or Magnus, or even like Lennox to some extent, this style would just build full damage and still tank. So they're trying to be like, look, we're nerfing your damage. So if you want to actually be like a front, well, so then you actually won't do damage even if you build into damage, or at least not as much damage. Her ultimate shield upon allies going from 200 to 450 to 150 to 350, and it's being changed from 25% of target's lost HP to 15%. It just makes her again not as strong. I think this is the main thing they need to do. They probably need to, like, I don't know. I think this is like a good start for nerf her. I don't know if it'll be everything though. Just EW is just way too strong, so we'll see how it is in game. Aiden I think was not that great, to be honest. So he's getting a bit of a buff, so he gets 3 more base AP. And he's going, his Q, which is his main spell, is going from 25 to 125 to 30 to 150, so slight increase. And his overcharge Q, which is his range form, is going from 30 to 170 to 40 to 180, so 10 base across the board. We have 10% more AP added, which I think is fine. Yeah, again, he's just not really a squads character. That's just the issue. Like, his kit doesn't really work as well in squad compared to other characters. Echion. Okay. We're giving Echion attack power. I'm worried. I'm very concerned that I see this. However, Black Mama has been performing well, so we're toning it down through the character skill as well as through items. So we'll check it. Going from 4 more AP and Black Mama damage on his ultimate is going from 75 to 275 to 60 to 260. And they're not changing any scalings actually. But this concerns me because I was even running into Echions and other weapons, not just Black Mamba, and they were still doing a lot of damage. So the fact that they're buffing his base damage concerns me a lot. Emma, we're giving Shuriken Emma some help. Yeah, people are all playing Arcana Emma, which is putting worse compared to our Arcana counterpart. However, we're also lowering cooldowns for passive to help her damage, as well as sustain. It's mainly a sustain, not damage. If they're leveling her passive cooldown, yeah, this is just for sustain. Basically, whenever you auto on Emma, you gain a shield, and this is your cooldown of that shield, like lasts like 3 seconds, I think, something like that, and then it goes in cooldown. So they're making it so that you can proc your shield more often, which this is like 2 seconds removed base cooldown, which I think is like fine. Sure, Emma was like, I'd say like average. Johan, I thought Johan sucked. Just because you have better Johan, aka Tidor. But so he's getting his HP from 68 per level to 77. This is a huge. This is durability is gonna go way higher. And his Q at root duration upon enhanced hit is going from 1 second to 1.25, make it a little bit more useful because again, Theodore also had a root in his kit too. So it's like, okay, why would I run Johann if we can run Theodore? Iron I thought was like mid-tier, so but there looks like they actually are buffing. Okay, another moving some of her passive into base durability as well as increasing some of her skill effects, so it's fine. I think that the buffer going from 785 to 830, defense 3 to 3.5. The passive for cat defense increase going from 2 to 18 to 2 to 8. So it's not as bulky, or you aren't as strong in the cat form, I guess. Perfect pounce cat E, damage going from 20 to 120 to 40 to 140. So just 20 more damage base increase, which I didn't even realize cat E did damage, to be honest. Maybe this is my lack of playing cat or Irem. So I thought it was just like for just repositioning or whatever, but you definitely proved me wrong here. Cat R shield duration is gonna last a little bit longer, which I think that's fine. So yeah, like overall, I think this is fine. I don't really see much Irem, anyways, and like I thought she was like average. Eva, I thought she was slightly strong. But Eva's mobility now can be reduced with cooldown reduction. Okay, so that's interesting. Eva's generally like cooldown reduction. Anyway, so this actually being affected is quite a huge buff, but it's getting 4-second more base cooldown. But generally, she builds CDR anyway, so it's gonna be around 10, but it currently is anyways. Whatever. We're just nerfing people or making it less rewarding for people who don't build CDR on her. And the VR eruption target or damage can start with 5 stacks, going from 30 to 80 to 20 to 80 plus 40% scale. I thought her early game was already quite weak anyway. Like, early game felt really good, and I thought her early game was like meh. So this is gonna make it even more meh, in my opinion. I was surprised they didn't nerf her late game though, but I guess whatever. Leanne, okay, I was very mixed on Leanne. I thought she was kind of just like mid, but I've been told and like somewhat seen that she's actually like above average, so they actually are going to. Oh, they're just doing more of like a rework than a nerf. Okay. So they're increasing her attack power by 4. And human form, her basic attack damage is going up by 10%, but possessed is going up by 5%. And her damage on her Leanne E, it says, okay, yeah, Leanne E, so human form E is going from 40 to 150 to 40 to 160. And Phantom Ripper possessed W. The movement speed increases going down by 5%. Please move Leanne E. Invade stacks increase going from 10 to 15. I don't play much Leanne really, so I'm not too familiar with her stacks. E is the pullback, I believe. Yeah, like I believe it's the pullback. And then the R, which is her ultimate movement speed increase, going from 30 to 20%. So they're trying to make it, I guess, that she's not as strong as her alt form, or at least like to run down people, but making her damage up a little bit. I think overall though it's a buff more than a nerf, to be honest. Like, I understand like the movement speed nerf, or she did get movement speed nerfs, but the base, like the damage is going up slightly here and the base AP going up. I think it's a buff more than a nerf. Sahir, I've heard Sahir's really good, I just haven't seen him. There's all damage going down, so the scaling's going down by 5%. Again, I think it's mainly because of like currently like the ultimate comes out way too quickly. We're increasing Jackie's combat power, including recovery. So this is going. I thought Jackie was like mid to like below mid, so I could definitely see her getting buffed, which is completely fine. So they're buffing Kathy's first hit by 3% of target's current HP on Q, which doesn't really matter. This getting buffed, this is actually huge. The min recovery is getting 10 or 5% more AP scaling, and max recovery is getting 10% more AP scaling. That's actually quite massive. It's not as good if the team has healing reduction, but if they don't, you're getting massive heals. And basic attack extra skill damage. I've heard people say that the ult doesn't really matter as much compared to like before. It seems like that's true for like early game, but they're trying to make it more rewarding in the early game than it currently is. We'll see if it's that much worth it. Late game definitely seems like it's good, but you know, like 8 here, it's like, who cares? Dual sword basic attack damage actually is going up from 120% to 140%. Again, apparently this is for only the R, I guess. Okay. I'm saying Jenny, I've heard she's like really good. I tried her one game, she felt like okay. And her block team movement speed increase is going from 7 to 11% to 4 to 6%. I guess they found the movement speed was way too strong. And her damage after she uses E is losing 5% of its scaling, which is not really anything, to be honest. Camillo, he sucks again. Camillo's so bad right now. He's getting 3 more base attack power, and his shield is going from 40 to 120 to 50 to 150, plus getting 15% more AP scaling, so he should be a lot more durable after this change, I do agree. Carla, they're increasing her damage. I didn't think there's anything wrong with Carla, but I've seen some people say she's really not good. I thought she was like average. Like, I didn't really think she was noteworthy. Just like in terms of strength anyway. So what they're doing is just changing the enemy's max HP from 6 to 10 to 6 to 12, so more punishing at max passive. And again, I don't know what order she levels up her skill, so this might not really be much of a buff, or it might be a huge buff depending on when she levels them up. And her damage going from 60 to 140 to 80 to 160. Yeah, whatever, really. I mean, like, it's nice, but I don't think I think it's like fine. I think it's fine. Chloe, Nina's base ability has been shown overly low while her damage is high. Turning down her weapons. Okay, we'll see weapons later, but Nina's getting 10 more defense, which is fine. I haven't seen much Chloe or Nina to really comment on her. Yeah, she was really strong on launch. They did change and then nerf her, and I've been kind of not sure if she's still S or she's like A tier. I haven't really seen much of her now, but they've increased the plague gauge consumption so that plague ends faster when moving away from enemies. So you basically lose it in 1 less second. So it currently takes 5 seconds for it to go away. Now it takes 4. Whatever. Thea's ult can now be used more often, and his combat skills will increase after using it. I'm surprised they're giving him a buff, but I guess maybe I'm overvaluing how strong he is. So his R overcharge endurance is going from 7 seconds to 9 seconds, and his cooldown is going from 80 to 50 to 75 to 45. Felix, we're boosting Felix in combat durability. I was talking to Clifton saying how this formula is whack. Apparently, that's the TL of the year. This formula is apparently super weird. It's going from 18 plus 40% AP to 25 plus 40% AP. So how the formula apparently works is like whatever stacks you have, it's base with a 40p, but then you add this number based off how many stacks you are. So it's kind of it's just written weirdly, that's all. But it's getting a bit stronger, so he has a better shield, and it lasts a little bit longer, make him a bit more tankier. So what I've heard is if you run Chang Pao, he's just too squishy, and you need to run like Turnover Coat. And Tempest Hydra's ultimate increased spear moving stats going from 2 to 4. Okay, it's fine. Fiora sucks right now, so I'm assuming they're just gonna buff her. Everyone's just running Rapier and Fiora. Spear and 2H are like non-existent. And scale per spear mastery level is going from 3.1% to 4.1%, which is massive. Attack A Compose or Attack Compose, which is her W. And it's getting 5% more scaling as well as 5% more on the second hit. Her ultimate slow is going from 50 to 70%. To my understanding, why Fiora sucks is before she used to have knockback on her R. Now she has no knockback, it's just slow, so it's like she's not that durable either compared to before. So she's like bad for what she's supposed to be doing. Supposed to be like a burst character with a lot of CC, but she has neither. That's pretty much it. So yeah, maybe Spear will be more in play now. Okay, apparently they're changing 2H weapons. We'll see. Piolo has been underperforming, so yeah, Piolo sucks right now. His damage is going up by 2%. Enhanced skill damage went from 25-45 to 20-60, plus 2% more skill in here. Center damage going from 60 to 180 to 60 to 200, plus 5% more skill amp scaling. And his ultimate is going from 80 to 240 to 100 to 300. Yeah, so definitely some more noticeable buffs. We'll see if Piolo is the good once again. I think he'll bring him up from D tier to at least C tier, maybe even B tier, because these are actually quite a decent number of buffs. Part slowing her damage. I actually, like I said, she's supposed to be more of like a support, but she's also an ADC, so she's kind of broken. So she's getting less damage, 5.3%. Attack power per level is going from 5 to 4.7. That's she used to get 5 per level. I mean, they changed how AP works, so yeah. Haze is also quite strong, so they are nerfing her base damage on passive, but giving her more scaling. So it's going from 30 to 90 to 25 to 85, but she gets 5% more scaling upscaling. I think this is actually overall buff, to be honest, because you're generally building full scale up anyways. Her Q damage is going from 50 to 150 to... Okay, so instead of this being 135, it's actually 125. I don't know why this was even 135 in the first place. Very odd. Anyways, you level up Q first anyway. Anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Hyunwoo's damage and sustain are being increased. I thought if Hyunwoo was like mid-tier, like as tank, I thought he wasn't like maybe the best, but like not the worst. But they're gonna increase his damage regardless, so he gets 0.5 more AP per level. Which that means like 10 more AP at max level. It's actually quite significant. Dogfight damage is going from 20 to 60 to 30 to 100, and he gets 5% more attack power scaling, and that's also going to be on top of this new change. Recovery is going from 4 to 12% to 6 to 14, and his bluff, his W is going from 2016 to 18 to 14. So yeah, I think this will make him definitely a lot more of a like viable tank for sure. Hedgen, I thought Hedgen was like not that good originally, and then I was like shown and slash like convinced that she was a lot better than I thought she was, and then I was hearing people complain about her more recently, so apparently I've just been sleeping on Hedgen, I guess. So it's not really, I guess, her damage, but it's more crowd control between the W change and the, I mean, she has Fear too. So I guess it's just people are getting better at using her new kit now. So yeah, adjusting her crowd control. So her fear duration is going from 0.09 to 1.1 seconds and to 0.7 to 1.1. You level this up first anyway, so I don't know why this was the one that was bolded when they changed these two, but whatever. This is a non-nerf. I'm sorry, you're always gonna have this max first. I don't know why they changed that. Does nothing. Garment of the Prophecy slows from 40% to 30%, but that's actually a noticeable or decent nerf. I don't think it's gonna again change that much because you're pulled into the middle of the omen anyway. So first cast damage going from 100 to 300 to 50 to 150. This is actually a lot. This is a huge nerf, the ultimate. And the skill damage going from 35 down to 25, and but the range is actually going bigger as a result of this. So you don't have to be as accurate, but it's not gonna like nuke a team, which I think that's what they're going for Hedgen. They're trying to make her more of a poke mage with like high CC instead of like a burst mage. Which I mean, she wasn't really a burst mage, but this part definitely was like more burst like compared to like the second change they're doing. But yeah, quick changes for weapons. We're almost done. 5 AP loss and Paradise Lost, which is for Estelle. I think it's fine. Judgment's getting 3 AP nerfed. This is Air Isol and Air Aya, which I didn't think they were the stronger ADCs at this point in time anyway, but I think it's fine. Magic Stick definitely needed to be nerfed. That's completely fine. Went from 103 to 95, and Ghost Hand's going up actually from 87 to 90. I thought Ghost Hand was completely fine as is, but Magic Stick being nerfed is definitely gonna make a lot more people build Ghost Hand, in my opinion. This was way too overtuned, so that's a good change. Flusha, this is a Chloe nerf, going from 12% skill to critical strike damage to 6%. Shooter Sauna, again, this is for Chloe, is going from 4% of target's current HP to 3%. I haven't seen much Chloe, so I really can't give you an opinion on her. Arcane Edge, I don't even know who builds this. Oh, this is the amp weapon. Right, so it's going from 77 to 81. I was like, who builds this? It's 2H Fiora, who doesn't even exist, really. Just pretend she's not even there, okay? All Miss skill amp is going from 90 to 96. Lich's Grass slow duration is going from 0.56, which is like nothing, to 2 seconds. Chained Nightmare is going from 107 to 112. People might start building 2H Fiora because of this changes, maybe. Rapier just has a lot better mobility, which is why people use it. Sniper Rifle, Blackfire Cannons, attack range nerf is being removed off it. This only really affects Sniper Aya because Bernice couldn't have his attack range reduced or buffed, so whatever. Flame Barrier on Black Mamba is going down from 4% to 3%. I think that's fine. To Armor, Butler Suit, Second Wind is actually being buffed slightly. I haven't seen many people build Butlers except for Alex. Mithril Cop attack speed just removed straight up. That's actually a huge nerf, by the way. Aliai's attack power is going from 4 to 3. That's actually a huge nerf too. You're gonna lose like 20 AP. Yeah, Phantom Jacket also gets no more max HP on it. So yeah, all my chest pieces are being nerfed. Phantom Jacket wasn't really built. It was mainly Aliai and Mithril Crop. The Helmet Banneret is going from 12 to 14. Never saw anyone build this. I just thought Crusader's helmet is just way significantly better than this piece is, to be honest. Virtuous Outlaw has no movement speed on it. This is because of Elite Island. This is the only character that builds that chest piece or head piece for what I've seen. Which gets 3% more cooldown reduction, which was this is more of a nerf than a buff. Okay, Sword Stopper, tank. Only tank characters build this, and 2 more defense, like whatever. Smart Band, haven't really seen anyone build Smart Band, going up by 2 AP. Plasma Arc is getting 3 more defense, which surprises me because I thought this item was already good. Centerpiece Pauldron, this is upgraded Sword Stopper, is getting 2 more defense, just to match the Sword Stopper change, whatever. Tellurian Timepiece is going from 6 to 8. I haven't seen much Tellurian Timepiece, but I thought it was like a decent piece anyways. Blade Boots is just going from White Rhinos plus Meteorite to just Boots plus Meteorite, which, I mean, it makes sense. I think it's fine to do. It just means it's a little bit of a pain for the White Rhino users who wanted to upgrade, but I understand why they did it. Okay, Alley and Fire Station getting slight change. So Fire Station is getting chains added to it, and they removed the whiskey and binoculars. And Alley's losing chains and getting whiskey. Okay, it's interesting they're removing chains from Alley and putting in Fire Station, but I don't know what routes exactly that changes, but I think it's actually like a decent number, or it might be a decent number. I don't know. We'll see. In Cobalt, actually I haven't played much Cobalt at all, so I can't really give you an opinion. If you want to read this, just pause the video or go to the link in the description and check it out for yourself. Okay, I'm just scrolling through them. You can see them. There's apparently no more holy orders, rip holy orders. And here are some game bugs. I will just quickly read them to see if there's anything important. I guess some of this corrosive gauge issues actually important. Tier adjustments and rank will be displayed correctly. And score liquid team please ranked. Okay. Items on the floor will no longer be able to be duplicated when both players pick up the item at the same time. I didn't realize that's what happened. That's so dumb. Okay, whatever. Let's see. Oh yeah, attack power and scaling percentage increase will not be applied correctly to equipment with adaptability. I heard this was like an error or whatever, so that's fine. Okay, so I'm like correcting cooldown reduction, tactical skills. Yeah, I'm just like, I mean, these are like good changes or like good fixes, but nothing I can really make too much of a comment on. This is funny that has happened before. But her passive no longer be activated when pushing like a full image. That's so weird. Why would they do this? Unobtainable items. Oh, they always keep forgetting about Linux's passive. Every patch, whenever they add new items or they remove the rarity of items, this always happens the next patch. Because they're like, oh wait, Linux has a passive. Yeah, exactly. No one knows about Linux's passive. Not even the devs. Oh. Okay, but yeah, it seems like that's about it. And honestly, the patch was actually pretty good. It targeted characters that people wanted to be targeted, and it buffed some of the weaker characters for sure. Will the changes be enough? Again, it's for me personally, I find it hard to say until I see it in game. But I think the patch overall was actually pretty good. I think the only change that I'm questionable about is the Echion change, but we'll see. That's all I have to say. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, consider liking if you managed to somehow get to the hour 15, and I hope to see you at the next video. Bye bye.